Alright, welcome to the big one. This is the Providence Stoughton line, including parts of the northeast corridor here. So, we're going to go on to the electric portion. I cannot tell you how long it took me to lay out this chain to make it into the visual aesthetic for the electric line, but I did it, and I'm proud of it. So here's Providence line and northeast corridor along the Stoughton line, so these two tracks will merge together and will stay together until Canton Junction when they split. So starting at South Station here and going forward. Also took me a long time to get these overhead electric wire holders, so enjoy the visual. So starting at Back Bay, we're now over to this side of the platform now. Providence line's on the right, Stoughton on the left. So you'd enter here for the Stoughton line, and all other trains you'd come over here. So if you want to get to the Providence line, you just find this right here where it says Providence and Foxborough line. Since they share a track, got the Foxborough line there, Providence line here. And moving over to Ruggles. Now we're utilizing this new platform here. This is for the Stoughton line. And this track right here for the Providence line. So when you're on here, you come up the stairs or you go down the stairs on the side here. It directs you to the Stoughton line. Come in through the front entrance. And you find the Providence and Foxborough line doors here. And of course, when you're coming in from this side, you can also find them. So you just come through the door here if you want to go out. Oops, wrong door. I just realized. Outbound to Wickford Junction and Foxborough. And come out this door if you want to go back to South Station. And once again, this line also passes Forest Hills. However, there is now one Providence train that does stop here in the evening to connect with a Needham train. So come out on the far left platform here and pass through Forest Hills. And then we get to Hyde Park, as shown before. Very simple layout. Got the two high-level platforms and the middle platform here to get onto the Providence or Foxborough line. And then this platform over here representing more of reality of the Stoughton line. And you can climb up here, get on the mountain, and use this to also get to the other platforms. And now we come up on Readville, the portion that I slightly messed up. This overhead track from the Fairmont line is supposed to be down here at the end where the high-level platforms are. So this is where it's supposed to be in reality, but I kind of messed it up and ended up putting it here by accident, and I wasn't going to redo it. So technically, even though this station is along the Providence Stoughton line, none of the trains stop here. This is an abandoned platform essentially, although it is a very popular rail fanning spot. So I've got the high level platforms here, and you can get up on the stairs to the other side to either go to the Providence and Stoughton line, or you can visit the other lines like the Fairmont and Franklin line stations that are elevated above. Alright, and now this next one is one that I am very proud of. It looks so good compared to reality. Route 128 University Park Station. So this took me a while to make, but it looks really good. If you've ever been here, you should know that this is what it is from just looking at it. So it's all high level platform. Goes down to the end here. You have these glass shelters towards the end of the platform. So it's a pretty long platform. You have the big station building over here on the left, and when you're on the platform, you have these shelter areas along with the staircases that go up and into the building or to the other side. So in this case, Providence line's on this side and Stoughton line is on this side. So yeah, that right there just looks really good to me. I'm very proud of this. Happy I was able to build it. And there's also this other exit here where you can get down to the lower level portion, or up here like this. So if you've ever been to the station before, you'll probably recognize this view here. When you come up to the platform here, you look up to it out the window, and you can see the station there. This is the waiting area. There actually is a waiting area here. The bathrooms are not here, but I just decided to put one of them there. So you just come out like this, and then you can either look down the platform this way or that way, and then you're up. And then we'll explore the inside a little bit here. So this is like one of the ticket information centers. It's not completely accurate. There is kind of like another doorway here with another lobby, but I just kept it simple. You can enter through the front of the building here if you're walking around. So there's two possible entrances here. You can just come up to the front of the building and get in. So women's room is on that side, men's room on this side, the bathroom. And then in here is Dunkin' Donuts. So this is where the little restaurant would be around the corner. And I just put some food in there. And then up here is the Amtrak Lounge. It is mostly a separate section, but it's very easily accessible. You can get to the track platforms also by coming up here. And then over here is security. I just put here. I believe I came up here once and they had some kind of information security desk. So I just put sword, crossbow, and arrows in there as security. And then of course there's signs redirecting you to everywhere, like the exit. And then up here is just the roof. Didn't do anything with it. But here's a good time to take an aerial view of it. Yep, so that is Route 128, one of my most prized possessions. I have another really good prized possession on this line. We'll get to it though. Just one more little view down here of it. And now we will move on. And I'm going to change the weather to clear. Alright, next up is Canton Junction. This is where the tracks will split off. So due to the curve, I couldn't make it as accurate as I wanted it to be, but here on the Stoughton extension side, there is the more elongated platform due to it ending earlier, or due to it starting earlier on this side. So the high-level platform over here for boarding, and then you have this little building over here, which actually is a waiting area and cafe. So I put the cafe in here, just a bunch of milk and sugary treats. It tends to be a little coffee shop pretty much, so nothing crazy about it. So this is the Stoughton side. And then to get to the other platforms on the curve, I just put a staircase overhead to get to them. So if you want to get to platform B to South Station, platform C to Stoughton, you come down here. So it's a shared. This is the middle section that I was able to make. Not totally accurate, but close enough. So at the end, you have the high level platform for boarding. And you can exit off over here since it's all flat ground. And then on this side is the Providence line. You just have the two high-level boarding platforms on the end. Technically, this one's supposed to be a little further down that way. And the staircase right here, so if you were ever Here before in the past, you know, you'd be looking down this way, and you'd have the overpass for pedestrian walking, with the stairs coming down on both sides, and looking down towards the station building here, and the low-level platform on the rest. And since it's supposed to split off, this platform and that platform are supposed to be a little further away, but I'm only using the one track per branch, so that's why it looks a little more condensed. So here's a nice aerial shot of it. And I'll get a shot of the from in here too. Alright. And we will take a quick detour off of the main Northeast Corridor line and go down the rest of the Stoughton branch here. So first stop, Canton Center. Very simple station. Easily accessible from the land. Just come down, you got the sheltered area right here in the low-level platform, and then the exposed high-level boarding section. So very simple, very basic. Definitely the easiest to make. And then we do pass underneath another train line here, but it's, like I said before with the scaling, it's probably not what you think it is. There is actually no point at which the Stoughton line crosses another branch. But if you know, relatively speaking, where Stoughton branch is closest to, then you might know which line that is, but that'll get revealed in another video. And the same will go for up here, as it gets close to another line that I had to build around it. There's one of the stations right over there, but I will not show it yet. So here's Stoughton. It is a nice looking station overall. So I'll start down here. Technically it does cross a road before getting to this side, but I just kept it all consistent. So the high level boarding platform is at the end, and then the tracks end technically further down, but I just put it at the end where the station is. And then they have this cool little old building here with a unique overhang structure. I did my best to try and replicate it. It doesn't look great, but it's close enough to what it looks like. It's a really tall, sheltered section made of wood. And this is where you can exit and then go down beneath this other line, which is not the same as the one that it crossed over down the tracks further. This is another one. So you go inside here. It's just a little waiting area with tables. I put this little thing here just full of random knickknacks. Kind of like to treat it as a kind of like an abandoned structure. And then up here is the bell tower. If that's even what it is. But this is what the building generally looks like. You know, not perfect, but it's at least something of a replica. Even though the stone with the wood doesn't look great, but whatever. Yeah, that's Stoughton. And now we will head back over to the main Providence line in Northeast Corridor, where we will continue our journey off to Sharon. Alright, so here's Sharon, back on the electric line. So station starts coming outbound, going underneath a bridge, the pedestrian walkway. And it is on a corner, but you can't do corners in Minecraft that easy, so I just kept it straight, of course. Most of it will be. So on either side, you got the old low-level platform shelters with a brick area here for seating on the outbound side. At the end of the platform, 2 high-level shelters. So you can look down the platform and you'll see the station building and the low levels over here. And against the station building there is the 2 kind of smaller overhangs here that meet up with the taller one. And I've never been in here myself. I think the building is currently closed, but I've looked in through the windows and it seems like it's a waiting area with a ticket information center. So I mimicked it that way. So yep, if you have been here before, you know the staircase, you can come up and go over, and then this is the top view. It's technically a little taller than this, like, so it's about right there in real life. So this is the general view you would be getting if you look down on Sharon. I'll get a little aerial shot of it. And next is the famous Mansfield, the only station in the state with platform pass of 150 for the Acela. So definitely an exciting one. So I do have it kind of coming up in through a village, so I had to put it through a farm here, go beneath, and then cut off a path and all that. But then do eventually get to the platform right here where you can just board it from either side. That reminds me, I forgot to show something at Route 128. It was just a minor thing where I put a little underpass to get to the other side, since the station building's only on one of the sides with no exit, so that way people can walk to it from either way. But anyway, focusing on Mansfield now, this is the little new high-level platforms that they've built recently. So if you're looking down inbound, you can see or looking towards Boston rather, you can see the station building with the 2 high levels right here. It's a little longer down the platform than what is shown here, but generally speaking, this is the layout. In this building, I think it's temporarily closed as well. It's just a waiting area and a cafe, so I put some food in. So yeah, not really a... it's an easy to identify station in real life, but, you know, here there's not much to really build. Most of the landscape comes from the look of the town. But I did put in the underpass here where you can get to either side of the train. Just like they have in real life, you go underneath the bridge for the train, you walk along the sidewalk, and you get to the other side. So there's Mansfield. I did my best to try and make the top part look pretty unique as it does in real life. But not close to really what it does look like. Just something to put there. Alright, and the next way down the line will be Attleboro. Attleboro is separated on 2 different sides, not symmetrically. And I didn't want to have to run it through some village buildings, so what I decided to do was curve it quickly here, even though in real life it's just pure straight. So kind of an ironic place to do it with. And the rain is back. So on the inbound platform side, there's a station building directly linked to it, and across is an old abandoned platform with another building that is not a station building anymore. I believe it's some kind of art gallery. I could be wrong though. It's definitely some kind of business. But either way, you have the high-level platform here with the old wooden shelter. And down here, I just, again, made it into a small waiting area, and I put a chest in here with food. Behind the counter, actually. So yeah, you can just come from the village and come up to the platform here. This is the station that I built for the villagers, essentially. And on the other side is the little building here made of brick. And then further down over here, the outbound platform. It's older, more rickety, made of wood completely. And the station building over here does go down to the street level. So I just kind of added a little lower section here. So you can walk around the building. And on the inside, I just kind of put a couple rooms in here. And I put a hidden chest in the back with some netherite and bows with an arrow of strength. So kind of like a little hidden gem. And you come down here, and it's kind of just a couple of businesses I saw. So this is the salon. I just put some cauldrons there to represent the water buckets and place where people sit. And then on the side is supplies. So just a little room with a chest in it that has a bunch of random things. And that's about it for Attleboro. Nothing too crazy. But when you're standing on the platform, it should look semi-familiar if you've ever been here. I think especially from this side. You've ever been here, especially with the walkway. There's a walkway here. You walk around the platform to get to, and then you come up to the building, which is a little further down in real life, but on the other side of the tracks is that old little dirt area, and then you come up on the platform, you look down over there, and you see the other one. Alright. And next, we'll make our way to South Attleboro. So here's South Attleboro. It is currently closed due to deteriorating structural conditions. Luckily for me, not here. These are beautifully built structures, not deteriorating. So on the inbound side, you have the low-level shelter here, and then there's the overpass that goes to both the other platform and off to the parking lot area, which is just the grass over here. So you can walk down here, and this is where the other high-level platforms are. You actually cannot get to them directly like this. You have to take the side walkways. So this is the first side walkway you come up on to get to the high-level platform here. So it goes off to the side here, and then you look down, and that's generally what you'll see. So, and over here, the only way to get to the high level is to actually take the stairs from above down to it. So you have to come down this little ramp here, and then it takes you directly to the platform. So fairly basic looking station, just a few unique pieces to it. Especially this little piece here, in my opinion. This is the one that separates it from most. Get a little aerial shot of it. Alright, and next is one of the big ones, Providence. So we'll make our way there, it's just across the little desert here, or whatever it ends up being, the plains. Alright, so Providence does have 2 platforms technically, even though there's 4 tracks. There's 1 track on each side of the platform. So it does start off outside. It's all high-level platform. So it comes in and then it ends up going underneath the station building. And then from here, it's all just normal tunnel-y type stuff. And then you have the stairs that lead up to the station building itself. I just have the signs here labeling where you are and where you're going. So, coming up here, I haven't really been in here that much. I've just kind of laid it out the way I thought it looked from memory. So it's just a basic waiting area with an overhead light here. And then you come down here, and I just put a couple bathrooms. So this is the women's room and the men's room. Then you come over onto this side, and I just put a gift shop, just some random stuff in it, and an tire shop, so just put some armor. And then here is Cafe La France. I believe that is what was in here. I just put some goodies, some food. And here is where you can sit to eat. And then we'll look at the front. I tried my best to mimic the outer style of the structure, so I built it into the rock here. But generally speaking, it does have this kind of look to it with pillars. And of course the clock tower. So that's Providence. Not crazy, probably underwhelming from what many expected to see here, but I'm pretty proud of it. It's not perfect. Probably could use some work on the details, but overall it gets the job done. Got the tunnel platform, the station building above, and the stairs that bring you down to the platform itself. But the one I'm proud of is still yet to come. So we have 2 more stops after this. Next is TF Green. This one I'm pretty proud of the looks of it. Guess the weather just does not want to stop. Alright, so here we are coming up on TF Green. In order to get the proper look for it, I had to make the 2 parking garages on either side. So I'm glad I did that because it does look really good for the way it looks in real life. So just have the 1 platform on the right side coming outbound. The Amtrak would have 2 tracks out here, so I left the space there just to mimic that kind of look, because most of the time this stuff looks really condensed. But anyway, so it has this little under portion for the passage between the garages. So if you've ever been to TF Green, this should look pretty familiar. And then it goes down even further, and then you end up in a little sheltered area here. There's no exits at all, so I kept it all fenced off. The only way to get on and off is over here. And it does have this little part where it kind of narrows out, so I mimicked that as well. And to get into the parking garage, I just put a little sidewalk around the edge here, and there's this little pathway here that's kind of blocked off of the wall. And instead of having it ring around in circles like a real parking garage does, I just put in a central staircase system where on each side it just goes up and down. So this is the second platform here. This is how you would get to the other parking garage on this side. So here's where it goes down and then back up, and on the other side it has a mirror image. So just on the roof here, then you can come down the other side like a mirror image. And look across to the platform. And I also added a little staircase here because there is one located at the station that spirals up to the top, so wanted to at least make one of those. So here's TF Green. think it looks pretty good. I'm proud of it. Alright, and then finally, the last stop, Wickford Junction. Now this one I am very proud of. I actually had to carve out the earth to make it look good because I was not having it any other way. So it starts off high level on the side here. And there's this nice big brick building and a parking garage on the side, so I had to include that to give it the proper look. So you come down here and it's just sheltered all the way down, and I will continue this out towards Kingston, towards New York and all that. But here is the main platform, so if you are ever here, this is what it would look like. You look over at the building here, you come down the stairs, so you would go up to the stairs from here. And Wickford Junction has this look to it where you walk up to it. You can go in through the building here. You can exit out to the parking garage from here. So a lot going on here. I'll try to cover it. I put in some spiral staircases to each floor, so this is just another floor for the parking garage and another floor for the station building itself. So got some staircases here from where we just came from. And I put a door here so you can get out into this cave. So, and here is the main waiting area for the trains. You come out here onto the platform. Added some artwork here because there's some interesting things that are on the side of the building here. And from here you can also go to the third level of the platform, or the parking garage. I put level 2 and platform here just to show people where to go. And finally here's the third floor with the top of the brick staircases. And I even put a little fourth level in there as well for the top. So that is Wickford Junction. I'm very proud of this one. It looks really good. It's one of those where I wouldn't have to even tell you what it is. You would just know from looking at it. So, especially from this angle right here. If you've ever been to the station in the little waiting area lot, just come right on up to it. And you're good to go. So that is the Providence and Stoughton line section. Definitely my favorite one to rail fan and to make. That was a lot of fun to make there. So that concludes the Back Bay branches. And next video I will do the Fairmount line. So I'll see y'all next time on that one.